Hello everyone, this is Charlie and I am back with another comic book review video. Today we'll be reviewing 4 books, so hopefully this video won't be long um, uh, compared to the one that I did last week where, I covered a whole bunch of books in a month's worth of books that I picked up. I also did that video a little earlier than I usually do videos. Usually I'm recording it on Saturday, like today. But that's because last week uh, it was gonna be kind of crazy because the new president of Mexico was sworn in. So I wanted to watch that, the whole event from his swearing in, which was followed by a very long speech and a very festive mood in Mexico, generally speaking. As you know, he has his detractors from usually the right, people, defending the old system when, we got this new guy who wants to change that. And that's why I voted for him. That's why 30 million Mexicans voted for him and his party to change a system that for a large majority was uh, failing. And this is a new offering. Plus, he was the mayor of Mexico City uh, back in between 2000 and 2006. So I basically knew, his policies and the fact that he was very consistent. So things seem to be happening quite fast. Results, of course, is more of a long-term thing, but he is a man that is doing press conferences every morning at 7, talks to his cabinet at 6, and works and travels all over the country on weekends as well. So anyways, let's get to the comics. So I'm gonna start off with Shazam #1. Uh, so before I go into my thoughts on the book, which I thought was great, uh, it kind of this book kind of stirred up a bit of a controversy last week because it was announced that issue 2 was gonna be delayed by 5 weeks. Was gonna be delayed five weeks. We're gonna have a 5 week delay. And of course, reading the information, in the headline as it was, I think a lot of people kind of got mad and blamed Jeff Jones for the delay. Uh, that was, I think, on Sunday. So, of course, I offered my thoughts on that. But on Monday, I actually started thinking, why is it 5 weeks late? Based on what is that date based on the delay? It's simple. The delay is just an scheduling adjustment. This issue was scheduled to go on sale on November 21st. It was delayed 2 weeks, which kind of messed up the schedule for DC because the next issue 2, was going to go on sale on the 19th. So instead of releasing 2 books on the same month, they just pushed issue 2 to be released a month later based on its original release date. So no biggie. It's just a scheduling adjustment. If issue 1 wasn't delayed by 2 weeks, the release date would have been issue 1 November 21st, issue 2 on December 19th, and issue 3 January 23rd, when issue 2 will be going on sale. So just keeping everything adjusted so that the books go on time on its already established scheduling programming, right? I think that's it, that right. So let's calm down and start not reacting with our gut and get all get triggered by clickbait headlines, and just calm down and start thinking a little bit more, take things more calmly, I would say, instead of just reacting with a passion and not really letting our anger and our outrage rule over rationality. Anyways, issue one. So uh, it actually has two stories. The main story, which is 20 pages, so I assume that originally was going to be a regular sized issue instead of a double sized issue, as we get a backup as well. So issue one does a sort of reintroduces a bit of the concept. Uh, it's definitely based off on the reboot that from 1952 that Johns and Gary Frank did as a backup of the Justice League book, but sort of reworks it so it takes things from that I guess failed attempt at rebooting the franchise into just basically using that setup and sort of reworking it to be a little more in spirit to the original character and tone and everything. So we're introduced to the whole Shazam family in a really with everyone fighting a bunch of robbers uh, that showed up in the Billy and Freddy's field trip, and you can see they're having fun. And then they go and explore, the Rock of Eternity, and start learning more of their secrets, including this whole, seven magic lands thing as well. This issue ends with apparently the return of Billy's father, so that's interesting. As we really don't know much. I don't remember much of the origin of Billy, the new origin. I have to go back and reread all the Justice League backups to see if it was mentioned what happened to his parents. Anyways, moving on to the backup, which is a story focusing on Mary Brumfield, uh, with this new artist who does this sort of manga style art, which I usually don't like. It's not my cup of tea, if you will, but it sort of depends on the story. I really think when I think of a good comic is if the artist is able to not just tell the story that the writer is bringing, but also communicate a lot of that. And so this really works because it adds this sort of wonder and joy, like here in the of that. So it's a really cute story. A little time with Christmas as well, with the holiday season. But really, I really like this new take. It's intriguing. It's light, I guess, a little light-hearted. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen superheroes fight, just regular criminals. So yeah, really enjoyed this. Then we got Green Arrow number 47, which is the end of the Citizen storyline and the last issue by the Benson sisters. So the ending of the arc was really covered in a few issues, in a few pages, sorry. And the rest of it sort of wrapping things up. And that's it. There wasn't really much going on here except, just a quick wrap up and perhaps setting up, the next run for the next run for the new team that's coming to replace them. But, it was fine. we got a different artist doing the art on this issue, which is Herman Peralta, who did the art as well, and different from where this issue started or where the last issue ended, but it was okay. Good wrap up, and setting up things for the next thing. The Green Lantern number 2. It's the Green Lantern as the actual lantern. So this doesn't really pick up from where the last issue left off. That one of the things I've noticed is that the title of the story is on the cover. It doesn't necessarily pick up from the from where the first issue ended, but it sort of continues the whole investigation of the events of the last issue. We get an appearance by Evil Star, which I had not seen that character show up in a very long time. Of course, the art by Liam Sharp is wonderful. I mean, just look at this amazing detail of Oa. I mean, the coloring and the inking must have been, the color must have been really tough. I mean, just getting there. The script by Graham Morrison, of course, we get all this. It's funny. Like it has a nice balance to it. Of course, we're introduced with new villains and weird lanterns. I mean, always hard to describe the story here, but just the investigation of what the pirates who were on Ventura. This pirate, of course, one of the pirates from the last issue, trying to find out what they were up to, what they were stealing, why, but we end up in a weird coincidence to Superman, but nothing related to Superman, that the Earth is actually missing again, and it seems again. So it seems that there's like this gang, the famous what's their name? The Horians, same race as I believe you're right. Who sort of bought this machine or something. I don't remember very much of it. To actually steal worlds. It seems that that's something that's also happening. That another lantern is investigating, which is I'm trying to. So they're actually investigating as well. The Green Lantern actually investigating missing worlds as well. So curiosity of why they actually left. They actually found Evil Star near the solar system, and then the missing Earth again, and like in Superman with Adam Strange, how actually reports a missing planet. So that was a weird coincidence that they had gone missing twice now. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on today. Just trying to make this video quick, so I don't want to get too much detail. So anyways, we'll end up with the Blackbird issue 3. So we've really been enjoying this book. I'm right now, I'm like always trying to look for something new to read, and I've really, I really came in because I like the art, but I've been enjoying the story since issue 1. Quite intriguing, and much more intriguing now is what's her Nina's, that's our leading lady, a protagonist of this story, to magic, to the magic realm that exists, uh, within our planet, but it's hidden from mere mortal eyes. And it seems that her mother, who passed away in a car accident, actually might actually be a magical creature as well. So that was quite intriguing, uh, because since she was a child during an earthquake, she witnessed these magical creatures. She saw them. Everybody saw them, but then they wiped their memory from you know from the people that saw them, except her. And so she's been obsessed with these magical creatures for years, and there might be a reason why she wasn't able to completely forget what she saw that night when she was a kid, and why she's been so obsessed with finding these magical creatures, and finding out that she wasn't really as crazy as many people thought she might have been. So this ending was quite intriguing. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope I made some sort of sense. This is like my third or fourth attempt at making it, so I'm gonna leave it as is, as it is, since I don't really write things down and I have a script. So anyways, I hope you like it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I leave my Twitter handle in the comments below, in the description. And I end as I always do with, until next time, keep smiling.